We're at the lot again today. Come to you with a little tutorial video. I'm on my beautiful 2017 ZX6R 636. Yesterday I came here to practice some wheelies, and I was working on trying to get over the fear of jumping a spreader, and I did in fact accomplish that. So I wanted to make a little video and teach you guys some ways that I got over that fear and some little tips that I came to figure out while trying to learn jump spreader. Now, first things first, I would like to say I am definitely not the best at stunting. I'm not the best at wheelies. I'm not the greatest at this trick specifically because I literally just learned it yesterday. But first things first, you're gonna want a stunt tank. Either one that's fabricated to be a stunt tank or one like mine where it's a bowl. This is just a stock OEM gas tank that came on the bike, and I took a rubber mallet to it and dented it in until it's like a bowl shape, and added this beautiful padding from the Six Shop to help with the grip. I'm not going to say that you can't do this trick without a stunt tank, but I don't think I've ever seen one do this trick without a stunt tank. I can't imagine jumping onto your seat or jumping onto the tank and it's a stock round OEM gas tank. Number one, that would hurt really bad, and number two, you wouldn't be able to stay on it. You would just slide right off. You know, this is probably a given, but you gotta be good with your handbrake. You gotta be really comfortable with the handbrake. You know, being able to do little tricks, being able to dip back and coast with it. Secondly, what helped me a lot is just figuring out where my butt sits inside the tank, where it's super comfortable, where I'm not going to slide off the back. And I always practice kind of hopping into it and just seeing how it felt, going back and forth. The next thing that you guys can do is once you figure out like the comfortability of sitting on your tank, seeing if you're, you know, kind of slide back a little bit, seeing if your butt will stay there and you won't fall off the bike, you can try a little clutch up. Always cover your rear brake. One finger on the brake, one finger on the clutch. And do a little clutch up. That baby stoppie was extra. I'm trying to practice those right now. Obviously, it's gonna feel super weird at first. It felt super strange to me at first, being up so high on the bike with your legs out in the air and dipping back without, you know, it takes a lot of confidence and comfortability. You really got to trust your stunt tank and your handbrake. And I think what I did at first is I definitely didn't have my legs out the very first time. I think I had them, you know, kind of close to the bike, somewhat like this, like almost hugging my my stunt cage. Until I got more comfortable to stick them out. And doing that, where you're like kind of wrapped your legs around your cage, it definitely helped me get over the fear of dipping back while sitting on the tank. You just have a little bit better point of contact when your legs are touching these. But you're like, all right, I'm getting comfortable with, being on spreader and dipping back and holding that wheelie. And that's how I was. And it took me about 2 weeks to get over the fear of jumping from my seat to the gas tank. So what I did first is, you know, you can do a little seat stander. And I just tried to mentally think about my butt jumping to that gas tank. I remember I was like getting up here and I was like starting to, you know, pretend like I'm throwing my leg out to get ready to jump on it, and I would start to do like a little side jump like this, and I kept landing sideways until I was able to be like, all right, I just gotta commit. You just gotta commit to jumping onto your tank. Once I was able to, you know, start to feel out jumping onto the tank, I was like doing little half hops, wrapping my leg around the tank, but I was still like not all the way on it, so I couldn't hold the wheelie, and I would like fall back into my seat. It really helped me to jump from my seat. So doing a seat stander like this, jumping onto my seat, one leg first. So you're kind of just stepping onto it. So I would do my left leg and then wrap my right leg around it, just like that. And that's literally what I was doing yesterday. Like, that's how new I am to this trick. And I had to, like, pretty much just figured this out probably an hour ago. But yeah, doing a little, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but I would kind of step up my left leg and then my right leg. Oh, and just like that is how I kept on landing. My left leg's pretty much on it, my butt's off the tank though, my right leg's kind of just dangling down. But after doing that a few tries, it's just all about commitment. Once you get more comfortable with it, you just got to commit to jumping onto the gas tank. And you don't need to jump immediately into spreader. You can jump on and do exactly how I was saying when you're first getting familiar with sitting on the tank. You can keep your legs down here, and that helps a lot. And then you can pop your legs up. I think I did that a couple times before I was, you know, more comfortable just immediately jumping the spreader. But yeah, dudes, this trick takes a lot of patience and a lot of willpower, because it is a scary trick. I'm not gonna lie, it is a very scary trick. I kept doing one of those guys, you know, jump up onto the tank, but then my wheelie would just fall right down. And what helped a lot with that is I would pop up in a seat stander and I would dip back and slow the bike down a lot. I don't know why, but the bike being really slow helped with my confidence. Maybe obviously because it was just a mental thing. If I'm not going super fast, the fall isn't going to hurt as bad. But dipping back and going slow really helped with my confidence. And I've found that if you pop up in a seat stander, dip, and you start coming back down, and right as you get back on the throttle to come back up is when you jump. You want to jump when you're on the throttle, because when you're on the brake, center of gravity change will just make the front wheel fall straight down. So you want to be on the throttle so that way you can adjust. When you jump forward, you give it throttle and you can come back up. So just like this. So seat stander, give a little dip, get back on the throttle and jump.
What's up, dudes? One thing I forgot to talk about while I was out there at the lot is body positioning. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about on this clip that you guys just saw. But basically, while you're doing a seat stander, you want your legs to be pretty straight. That gives you better control of the bike and better balance while you're performing this trick. And as I'm dipping back, you can see my legs are pretty straight. But as the bike starts to come back down and I'm getting back on the throttle, you can see my legs start to bend. Right here, they're almost at a 90-degree angle. The reason why I do this is, number one, I am preloading my legs to get ready for that jump. So that way I can extend and jump onto the tank. And number two, it is allowing my body to get lower and closer to the bike. That way it's less distance to make that jump. It makes it a little bit easier. And also you can see my knees are starting to like spread apart, and that is preparing my legs to wrap around the bike. And here I am about to make that hop. And there we go.
And it's as simple as that, dudes. This is a very simple trick. And I know I've already said it, but it is a very scary trick. I was reading some posts from this Facebook group that I'm in, stunning group, and some guys were saying the same thing. They were talking to each other about how to get over the fear of jumping the spreader. These guys are great riders. Guys that can do high chairs, 50-50s, you know, high chair scrapes. Like, they're great riders, but they're just so scared to jump onto their tank. And I totally get it. I wanted to conquer this trick though before I tried any high chairs and stuff like that, because I wanted to be able to jump onto the tank and then change tricks and stuff like that. Because if you just clutch up in a spreader and then go to high chair and stuff, I mean, it looks sick, but there's just something about jumping mid wheelie and jumping onto the tank. It looks so cool. But yeah, dudes, this is just some of my tips and things I figured out while learning this trick. Let me know down in the comments if you got any questions. Like I said, I am extremely new to figuring out this trick, but I wanted to make a video where it was fresh in my mind, some little things that I figured out and learned to help me conquer this trick. Oh, and I should have mentioned right off the bat, because I'm in the lot right now, my idle is turned up to about 3,000 RPMs, I think, like 3,200. Yeah, like just past 3. And that helps a lot. The throttle isn't so jerky when you're trying to jump onto your tank. I don't know if like street guys do it that way, if their idle's always turned up when they're doing stunt rides and stuff. But I know my idle's always turned up because I'm practicing circle wheelies and whatnot in the lot. And obviously you're gonna need a handbrake, unless you could do a little jump, half jump, and keep your foot on the and keep your foot on the foot brake. But I've never seen that. That'd be kind of silly. And then once you get real comfortable, you can do some combos. You clutch up sitting down, hop up into seat stander, do a little foot drag scrape, and then jump up into spreader. Yeehaw! Let's try a fun one. Do a frogger, foot drag, scrape, jump up into a spreader. Oh no! Thanks for watching, dudes. Let me know if you like these tutorials. I want to make some more. The only other tutorial I've ever made was just a wheelie tutorial, and this was 4 years ago or something. So I'd love to remake that video. Just basics, how to wheelie, clutch up, power wheelies, foot brake. So if you guys want to see that, if you guys want to see any other stunt tutorials, let me know and I'll make that happen. Love you, dudes. Thanks for watching. Later.